All right, let's jump right in. We're going to talk about a story that asks this really deep question. How do you find meaning when you've lost, well, everything? We're diving into Aleksandr Solzhenitsyn's masterpiece, One Day in the Life of Ivan Denisovich, and it's all about finding hope, finding dignity, in maybe the most brutal place you can imagine, a Soviet labor camp.
And this quote, man, it just gets right to the heart of it, doesn't it? The whole Gulag system, you have to understand, was designed for one thing: to crush the human spirit, to turn people into numbers. But this story, it's about that quiet, almost stubborn refusal to be broken. It's this incredible paradox, just heartbreaking, but also so inspiring.
So let's start right where the book does. We're in the bitter, bitter cold of a Siberian morning, and this is where we meet our guy, and we get thrown right into his world. You see, Shukhov doesn't wake up thinking these grand thoughts about rebellion or freedom. Nope. He wakes up sick, feverish, and his first thought isn't about escape. It's just survival, right? How cold is it? How am I going to get through the day? Because in this place, there's no mercy. There are no sick days. It's just this immediate, brutal reminder that the little things we take for granted, they're total luxuries in his world.
And look, this place isn't just a physical prison with walls and wires. It's an emotional one, a psychological one. Everything is a weapon here. The wind, the guards shouting, that constant gnawing hunger, it's all designed to erase who you are. It's just this relentless, systematic attack on the very idea of being human.
But here's the thing. Even in a wasteland like this, humanity, it just finds a way. Shukhov isn't completely alone, and that brings us to one of the most powerful themes in the whole story. He is part of Gang 104. And, they're not friends in the way we think of friends. They might not even like each other really, but they absolutely depend on each other to live. This is a different kind of family, one forged in shared misery. It's a bond that comes from knowing you have to watch each other's backs, especially when the system is built to turn you against each other.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? Think about the people you've gone through tough times with. There's a connection there it's just different. It's deeper. And in the Gulag, that's amplified 1,000 times. A shared look, a quiet word, helping someone hide a small tool. These aren't small things. They're huge acts of solidarity.
Okay, so if you're expecting some big, dramatic prison break or a fiery rebellion, you're in for a surprise, because the most powerful moments in this whole story, they are incredibly quiet.
I mean, Shukhov's absolute high point of the day, his greatest moment of joy, it's all about a tiny, hard piece of bread. He doesn't just wolf it down. He eats it slowly, carefully, like it's something sacred. He savors every single crumb. See, it's not just food. It's a moment of private dignity, a tiny little victory that belongs only to him.
And this just forces us to completely rethink a word like gratitude, right? For Shukhov, it has nothing to do with having a lot of stuff. It's all about finding this immense value in the smallest, most insignificant things. It's a survival mechanism, really, this ability to find something sacred in a piece of stale bread. And it's not just the bread either. At the end of this absolutely brutal day of work, Shukhov actually stops and just notices the sunset. In the middle of all the barbed wire and the guard towers, he finds a moment of beauty, a moment of peace. He can still feel that. They can lock up his body, but they can't lock up his ability to see a beautiful sky. Okay, so all of this leads to what is, for me, the most stunning and thought-provoking part of the entire book. Shukhov's lying there in his bunk at night, just thinking back on his day. And the contrast here is just, wow, it's astounding. On one side, you've got the objective reality. He was starving, freezing cold, worked to exhaustion. I mean, a truly awful day by any standard you or I would use. But then you have Shukhov's own takeaway. It was a good day. A good day. Why? Because he got an extra ladle of watery soup. Because he felt like he worked well. He didn't get punished. He survived. Think about that. His happiness is measured by all the bad things that didn't happen. He wasn't thrown in the punishment cell. He wasn't beaten. His victory is survival itself, and it's built out of these tiny, almost invisible little wins. It's the ultimate lesson in perspective, Joy isn't about comfort. It's about dignity.
So you might be sitting there thinking, okay, this is interesting, but what does a Soviet labor camp from the 1950s have to do with my life?
And the answer is, emotionally, it has everything to do with it.
Because haven't we all had a day or a week or maybe even a whole year where you just had to put your head down and keep going? Where you had to endure something really difficult without any applause or any complaints? Shukhov's quiet strength, it's like a mirror for our own private battles.
And haven't we all had those moments where one small kindness from someone, or that first sip of coffee in the morning, or just 2 minutes of peace in a crazy day felt like a total lifeline? That hunt for the small joys, that's something we all do. It's universal.
And that's why Shukhov's story hits so hard. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about a gulag. It's about feeling trapped. Maybe trapped by your circumstances, or by grief, or just by life. And it's about choosing to find meaning anyway. It's about the incredible strength it takes to just get through the day, look back, and call it a win. So, as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with a question to think about. We all have our own battles, right? Our own private labor camps. The real question is, what are the small things for you? What are your crumbs of bread, your moments of sunshine that give you the strength to get to the end of the day and say, you know what? I survived. It was a good day.